Hey everyone, Dimitri here, and today I wanted to do a long-term review of the Bluetti AC200MAX for use in a camper van or van life, moto van, that kind of thing. So as you can see, this is a Bluetti AC200MAX, and it's been living in my van for pretty much a year now, and it's been living here full time. So the first thing I'll say about it is that reliability on this thing has been absolutely bulletproof. It has been, I had zero issues with it whatsoever. It's on 24/7. It's running my fridge over here. It's getting power from solar, and I can pretty much run the fridge indefinitely. I just use the refrigerator like I would something at my house, so I can just leave stuff in there, which is super convenient. The van's seen temperatures from well below freezing to well over 100. Maybe not well over 100 outside, but it's definitely been over 100 inside. I've had zero issues with this thing. The only thing that I've seen is it working as it should, which is that when there is a issue with when it's too cold, basically it's not good to charge lithium batteries. I think below freezing it's not great to charge them, and I've actually seen a warning pop up on the Bluetti saying that it paused charging or something like that because it was below freezing. But other than that, zero problems. It always works. I have had absolutely zero issues with it. So I'll just go through the pros and through the cons of this real quick. So one of the most important things for use in a van or camper van, moto van, van life type of thing, and is the biggest reason why I bought this unit, is because of this plug right here. So this Bluetti, and there might be other ones on the market now, but when I was looking, this Bluetti had the most, or one of the most, amperage output of in 12 volt out of any of them, out of any of the other units, because most of them only have about 10 amps or maybe 15 amps of 12 volt, and this one has this plug does 30 amps of 12 volt, which you kind of need that if you're going to run a bunch of stuff off of 12 volt, like if you're going to run a refrigerator, if you're going to run a fan, if you're going to charge a bunch of stuff. This is a moto van, so I also have a boot dryer, so I need a good chunk of 12 volt, and most of them, like I said, only have about 10 to 15 amps, so this is a huge plus to this. It uses this special plug, and I just have it wired to kind of a distribution block back here, and I will, this special plug, that's a aeronautical one, I think is what it's called, and I can put a link to it in the description of the video. You can get them off of Amazon. It's really easy to put together. You just kind of screw it together. So that's a big plus. It uses a similar plug actually to charge. I don't think it's the same, but it's a similar plug to connect to solar. So that's a big plus to it. The other big plus is that it is a very quiet unit. One of the reasons why I went with a standalone thing like this instead of just having a bunch of different components is because I didn't want a bunch of fans. All those components, inverters, solar controllers, battery chargers, all that kind of stuff, all of them have a bunch of fans. And the last thing I want in my van when I'm trying to sleep or even when I'm driving is to just have that constant fan noise. And there's somebody mowing the grass in the background, but you can hear that you can't hear anything on this unit. So the fan in it actually only runs in two cases that I've experienced. One is if you're using the inverter, so if you're using 120 volt outputs, then occasionally the fan will run. Or if you're charging it from 120 volt. It's got a big, actually don't know where it is here. Oh, it's right here in front of it. So this big thing when you plug it into the wall, the fan runs all the time. And I have a shore power plug on the outside, so when I charge from shore power, which I've only done once ever, because solar keeps it topped up, the fan will run on this constantly on this unit itself, not on the actual battery bank. So those are the only two fan situations. Even though it's been pretty hot in this fan, it's about 80 degrees in here right now. The fan really, if you're just using 12 volt, I don't think I've ever heard the fan turn on the unit itself. So that's a huge plus. Obviously, a big plus to it, that's everything's built in, ready to go. Literally all I had to do when I wired my van is just plop this thing in here, connect this unit or this plug that powers all of my 12 volt stuff. I've been kind of lazy, so I just plug in the 120 volt things in here because I don't really use them that much. This is a microwave, and this goes to my Starlink, and then I just keep 120 turned off most of the time. So, and then I just strapped it down with a couple straps that go to tie down points, and it just sits in my kind of box here underneath where my dog sits. So that's it. All there is to it. Everything's built in. If I want to store the van for an extended period of time, I can just take it out. It probably take me 2 minutes to unplug the plugs and undo the straps, and I can just yank it out of here. So it's very, very convenient from that perspective. And like I said, everything's built in, including the solar controller. So I have no other electrical stuff aside from this box. And speaking of the solar controller, some units, they are a little bit restrictive as far as what you can do with the solar controller. This one's pretty good, and you don't need any sort of external solar controller to clean up your solar prior to the input to this thing. It's literally, my solar panels are wired in series, and then they go directly into this box. And then this thing has a MPPT solar controller that handles everything. So just without going into too many specs, it can also take a lot of solar input, way more than I have on the van. So that's definitely a plus. It's got a lot of capacity, obviously a plus. The inverter is really powerful. I think it's continuous 2000 watts, and I think it can do peak of almost 5,000 if I remember correctly. So I don't ever really have to worry about tripping anything. I can run I have a microwave in here, so I can run this microwave, and then I have a little pot, electric pot. I can run that. I've never had an issue with anything, and I can run those at the same time, no problem. The other cool thing, so this screen's pretty handy. It looks nice. The Bluetooth functionality is super useful. So if I need to, most of the time I have this closed up, so if I need to see what's going on charge wise, Bluetooth is awesome to have on this. So another nifty thing that I didn't think that was that important, but is this high power USBC plug, which is powerful enough to charge a laptop. So it's awesome because now I don't need to carry a laptop charger with me when I'm in the van. I just grab my laptop and or forget my laptop charger, and then I can just charge it right from this thing. And this also runs off of 12 volt, so you don't need to turn the inverter on, which is a huge bonus. Anytime you can run off of 12 volt and don't have to hear that fan and pay the price for a conversion, it's a bonus. So that's been really great as well. And one last pro, which I think is huge for this unit as well, is that it is expandable. So you can actually buy additional battery banks that are external to this, and they're not cheap. But if you get one of these and you realize, hey, I actually need more capacity, You don't have to completely toss this unit. You can get another battery bank and grow I think up to like threefold. You can grow the capacity of this, which is pretty cool. So as far as cons, I actually don't really have too many. These are just kind of nitpicks. So the one thing that I don't like about it is that there's no way to fully turn it off. Like I wish there was a big off switch, which you would think this would be. But the problem is, if you can turn it off using this switch, and then as soon as it gets any sort of input power, like from my solar, it will turn itself back on. And I wish this would just completely kill it, shut it off, totally done, dead, no inputs, no outputs. Doesn't work that way. So you'd actually have to disconnect the solar input, which I don't feel like doing a million times. The other thing that I don't dig is the display is pretty bright. You can turn it off, but if there's anything happening, it will turn it itself back on. So if, like I said, again, if it's charging from solar or if there's something going on, the display will turn itself back on. So that's a little bit annoying in the van because it's bright. And the last nitpick that I have, which is also definitely a nitpick, is that I wish there was some sort of historical trending, like in the app or on the unit itself or something, like some kind of graph of power consumption, power draw, something of that nature, so that you could go back and see how much you were charging from solar, how much you were doing over a course of 24 hours or a week or whatever. Right now, all you can do is just see real time. You can't see anything historic. Yeah, so in summary, it's been 12 months. This thing has been working pretty much 24/7 in my van. So I think it's a great unit for van life, or for your camper van, for your moto van, for camper type of situations. It's been absolutely solid for me. I'm very happy with it, and I'm going to continue using it. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave a comment below.